Alright, we're going to be watching Goldenpants playing Rein on Shambali. Been working on improving my tank play, especially Rein, currently Silver 2. The first replay, I don't know if this is console or PC, you'll probably find out soon enough. The first replay, we were up against a not-so-great team. They published 2 replays, but I still think I played decently well beside that. The game after, however, I ran to what I like to call the 5 gun runners. This is the Shambali map. I use this to describe when the enemy team is in sync and all focus the same target at once, as in this match, they were running Ramatra Sigma, Torb Soldier, Ash, Baptiste, Moira Lucio, so it seemed like every time I try and make space or fight, I have 5 guns pointed at me, and more often than not when I die, there's 3 to 5 of them shown participating in the kill feed. I know I did not play well, I missed a lot of hooks, sounds like you go to Rohog as well, struggled to kill squishies quickly, and I was getting frustrated, which didn't help, but I would just like some outside opinions, tips, besides my goated team carrying me to the... Wow, you win, okay. Alright. You're going to... Looks like Rein and Hog in this game, so... Let's start. So the number one thing that I tell everyone on Rein is not, and I stole this from someone else, a lot of people say it, Rein is not a shield tank with a hammer, right? He is a hammer tank with a shield. The shield is to enable you to hit people with your hammer. If you cannot hit people with your hammer, you should switch off Rein. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you are not hitting people with your hammer, switch off Rein. Okay? How to hit people with your hammer is really hard because you're trying to get close to people who do not want you to get close to them, and they have a lot of ways to stop you from getting close to them. And it's a complicated dance. It's like how you close that gap, but that is how Rein plays, right? You just get used to the fact that like you basically spend all your time figuring out, like if you were not here, but here, assuming your team would be with you, the fight's over. Like if you literally could just teleport, like let's say you had a short range teleport like Reaper, if you could teleport right here, this fight would be won because you would just go and you swing, you kill everybody. Okay, so the goal is, in every fight, is how do I get from here to here without being super low in the process? Okay, and without them, obviously, continuing to kite backwards. Universal tip for tanks, when you don't have to, don't walk through enemy shields. Don't walk through the bubbles, don't walk through Ramatra shield, don't walk through Sigma shield, etc. Universal rule, don't do it unless you really know what you're doing, right? If I see Ramatra shield on this side, I go to the right side and go this way instead. Okay? Why? Because you don't want to LOS your healers. Your Ana cannot heal you from here. Right? Just play the other side of the card in this situation. And realistically, you don't want to push at all right now. So, right now, you're pushing the pace too early. Your cart needs to move up anyway, right? You need your support to get out of spawn, you need your DPS scale spawn. Don't take damage, don't lose your shield. Just stay behind the cart and just move it. You don't need to do anything right now. Okay? Your Pharah is actually making space for you currently. Right? Yeah, you can fire strike if you want, but don't lose too much health, right? Don't go crazy here, right? You see how your shield's already down most of its health, right? It's at 500 out of 1200. You don't want this to happen because if you want to push in right now, you have 700 less shield, okay? That's very important to think of. You are not just a 625 health hero. You are effectively an 1825 health hero, not even including the armor damage reduction, because you have shield, right? And you can use the shield to block so many sources of damage in the game, okay? Letting your shield run low is very comparable to letting your health run low. All right, get out of the field. Yep, this is good, right? You're not trying to push the pace, you're just chilling. So when you see that dynamite, shield it. That's actually really big. Ash dynamite is a huge source of ult charge for her, and it does a lot of damage. Right here, shield it. And if it goes over your head, shield and look up to stop it from damaging you. Right? Shield's too late. Fire strike the turret, right? Just fire strike the turret, help kill it. Fine, good. Second one, good. Turret's dead. You charge. Is this the right time to charge? It is not. Why? Because they're already going backwards. You're going to take space regardless. Okay? You just lost your Pharah, okay? They're probably maybe trying to do the res right now. This is the worst time to be going in. It's a 4 and 5 situation where they are already backpedaling. You don't need to charge right now. You're going to charge, and I bet this is going to go very poorly. All right, you land the Rein, or the Ramatra, he gets Lamp. Okay, the res goes off. But you lose your Ash for it. Okay, well, why do you lose your Ash? Let's go look back. Your Ash is there. You're going to charge in. Ash sees that you're in, right? So she's going to step up. Try to help over here. Gets killed. So, would this have happened if you hadn't done that? Maybe, but I don't think so. I think if you just chilled in the cart right here, just like, kind of doing this, I don't think your Ash dies there, right? I think typically they're probably gonna be aiming at you a little more versus shooting at your backline. I don't think your Ashe dies there. Plus, the fact that you go in causes your Ana to focus on you instead of healing this Ashe, who never gets healing this entire time. You see? She gets one tapped to the face by Torb, which does not do enough damage if she's at full health. Okay? So, again, I think your play inadvertently causes one of your teammates to die. I don't know what this trying to do. Alright, you let your shield break. Cardinal rule Rein, never let shield break. Okay? Why? Because even a 1 health shield will stop an infinite source of damage. 1 health shield will stop Diva Bomb with you and your entire team standing behind it. Never let shield break. Unless it's literally used to save your life. Right? Stop flashing your shield, it's preventing it from recharging. Right? 85 health, the shield's not going to do anything. Just don't do it. Okay? You're flashing shield when you don't need to. You could have also just chilled right here and gotten ready to apply more pressure from the side. I don't think you actually want to go back to the cart there because you're full health, so you could actually push in pretty soon. But again, remember, if the cart is moving and they don't try to stop the cart, you are winning the game when you are on attack. You don't need to fight them until they stop the cart. If you can take a fight and win, go ahead, right? That'll make it even easier to move the cart. But until they stop the cart, you don't need to do anything. And you can just chill if you want to. I would not recommend that walking that far in front of the cart until you're ready to fight. No, don't do this. I know you're trying to stun the turret, but like, unnecessary, and you get delayed, right? While you're charging, you could have gotten, for example, there's so many abilities that can hurt you there, right? You get slapped, you could have shot in the face, you could have a lot of things. Just swing. Alright, again, you see how low your shield is? Again, remember a cardinal rule, don't walk through shields. You notice how your Ana can't heal you right now? Because you have walked through the shield. You could have just waited. You could have just waited. Right? And if you want to kill Lucio, just charge a Lucio or something like that. But like, now you're taking your life into your own hands. You decide to charge the Ramattra, which is literally the worst possible target, and then you die. You could have won this fight by literally just standing behind the cart and doing nothing. Not shielding, not hammering, not fire striking. You could just sat behind the cart, taking your hand off the mouse, okay? And you would have gotten the cart. You would have done more than what you just did. I want to emphasize that. Literally just using WASD would have gotten you more value than what you just did. You have to recognize what is the right time to go in. You did not need to go in there for a variety of reasons. Okay? Number one, they hadn't actually stopped the cart yet. Right? I think you're trying to kill a Lucio, but the charge angle is all wrong. Right? It's like not even close. Okay? You could just walk to the left and swung, right? Or you could just swung, fire strike the Lucio and try to kill him with a second fire strike. Okay? Walking through this right now, at this moment in time, being down your Ashe, because remember we saw your Ashe die earlier, is a terrible mistake. Going in right now. All you had to do was chill. Like, I know that the sleep got hit, but ultimately, like, in that situation, there's not a lot you can do about it. He got slept behind a shield, behind the cart. Okay. So, when you charge, try to avoid ending up in no man's land. Okay? The middle of the road is no man's land. You don't really want to be there. You always want to be near natural cover. Okay? Like, this is not a spot that you want to be. Just go through the right and push them out this way. Okay? This is designed for close-range characters to kind of carry this section of the map. Don't walk in the open where everyone can shoot you. It's not so good. Right? Because you're like, oh god, and then you come back in here, which is where you should have stopped your charge to begin with. Minor note about this fire strike. Always try to hit as many targets as possible. This second fire strike, you're going to send it at this angle where it's going to slide them into this wall. But you should have thrown it like this to potentially hit the Torb. Right? So watch. Okay? You could have had that been a potentially much higher value. Instead of one target hit, 3 targets get hit there. Right? 1. And then right here, you should have sent it down like that. Because you would have hit the Baptiste 2. Right? At a minimum, you would have hit 2. You might have hit the Torb as well. Okay. Turret's there. Yeah, just swing. So you do a thing where you expose yourself too much, right? So what you do is you walk here and you're like swing, 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 and come back to the cart. But instead what you could do is you could just swing from behind the cart and not expose yourself. And you would take a lot less damage. They're not actually focusing you, but at higher ranks, this will become a larger problem. Again, don't just idle in open space while they're shooting at you, right? Always think, like, you don't have a gun. So there's no reason to stand in a situation where people with guns can shoot you, but you can't shoot back. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of just drift here. Watch. So you're going to walk. You're going to kill this turret. right? Again, you see how you stand in front? There's no need to do this. You can just swing and hit it from behind the card. Okay, so now over here, you're gonna just jiggle back here for no reason, right? Like, why take this damage? There's no reason to do this. just move the cart. You know, they are not stopping the cart from moving, right? The greatest thing about Rein is you're a melee character, and the cart doesn't stop unless people are in melee range. So you can just simply wait for the Ramatra to step forward to stop the cart, and then you can kill the Ramatra. You don't need to try to hunt down these people who are 10, 20 meters away from you. Okay, that's not actually your job, believe it or not. All your job is, in this scenario, is to move the cart forwards. Because as long as they don't stop the cart, you're inherently making space by existing. No one wants to touch the cart because they don't want to get hit by you. You see? Like, they're always just continually backing up because they don't want to get hit. Which is okay. Like, your job can just be spam fire strikes, right? And just chill. Again, you are winning right now just by simply existing. You just have to be ready to do something when they stop. Okay? So the Ashe is here. I think the Ashe is out of position. I think it's reasonable to try to chase the Ashe here. Right? Good, right? Good job, right? I think this is a good play right there, what you did. You recognize that the Ashe is out of position, right? She's with the melee range. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay, in fact, I'm going to mostly watch it here because, like, I think watching your perspective is actually not that helpful because I don't think aiming is a problem with Rein. I think looking and understanding the battle situation is important. Okay, the Ashe is dead, so you're in a 5-on-4 situation, right? You guys are up. The thing is, they popped Molten Core, but who cares? Because your Pharah and Mercy are in the air, so they're never going to get hit by it. Your Ana, however, gets potentially in trouble. Your Reaper's not going to have to worry about Molten Core either. So in this situation, I would think, hey, can I get a lot of value swinging in here? Or do I have to shield off Molten Core? Now, if you were here, I think shielding off Molten Core would be good because you don't want your Ana to eat this. But in your position, I think it's really hard to get there in time. So I think just continuing to apply pressure, and especially going after Lucio here, and seeing my Reapers flanking, I think you should just go up here and fight and try to kill them. I think you should ignore the Molten Core, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Again, I know the turret's shooting. The turret is not that big a deal. Right? I think you should advance right now with the Reaper and kill these two who are clearly out of position. Again, if you're like at full health and playing very defensively. Okay? The turret is shooting. You have a fire strike. You can fire strike it here. Turret, right? Or you can just walk up to the right. It'll also be fine. Right? You're at full health right now. Again, you can be aggressive. You're not being aggressive. Your Reapers in here are fighting these two who are very out of position, and you're just chilling behind the cart. It's funny because the whole time I've been telling you, just chill behind the cart, right? You need to recognize what is the moment when you don't chill behind the cart. This is that key moment, right? Where you should have already been on high ground fighting these two, and you and the Reaper would have killed both of them easily, right? Now you're trying to fight people who are far away, but don't do that. Like, this is too far away now, right? You're trying to push in, your shield is broken, right? And now you got Nano, and you're like, oh, shoot, now you have to go in. All right, turret's dead. Torb, when he pops Overload, is too fast for you to kill, right? Lucio is too. Honestly, this is not a great Nano. There's not a lot you can do here. This is a terrible Shatter. Why? Does it look like they're going to stop you from capping the point? Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you have all 5 people. I mean, granted, I don't know why your Ana's so far back. Or this is Reaper so far back. But does it look here like this Torb was going to stop your team from capping? No. This is a huge waste of Shatter. You didn't need this. Right? Total waste. So, cap, as expected. Right? Imagine if you had Shatter right now, though it wouldn't actually work because your team's not actually ready. But, again, think about the fact that you should have Shatter right now and you don't. Alright, so here's the problem. You're aggressing too early. The cart hasn't even started moving yet. Okay? I know it feels good. You're like compressing them, but the problem is you're not going to have any follow-up here. There's so much damage that they can do to you, and it's just not a good time. What you should have done is you simply should have moved the cart, and you could have held this corner right here, for example, and prevented them from shooting at anybody. Like, yeah, they would have been up here, but someone could have like crouched behind the cart and moved it, and it would have been totally fine. I don't think trying to continually push into them is the right call. Okay? So, you decide to charge in. You kill the Ashe. Okay. Right? Again, I still don't agree with this play, but great. You know, you kill her. You kill the turret. You drop back down. Okay? So, you end up getting a pick, so it works out okay for you. I don't think it was the right call. Just like in poker, you can have a bad hand, and you can call, right? And you end up, you know, flopping a really lucky set of cards. It might have worked out for you, but I don't think that was the right decision what you just did. Again, remember, cards moving is good, but your Reaper's got in right now. So now's the opportunity for you to go in, right? This is the opportunity for you to charge in and try to kill a Ramattra. Ramattra cannot beat you in a one-on-one. Right? I would charge the Ramattra right now. You don't pin him. Just start attacking nonstop, and he should die here. There's no way this Ramattra should be able to beat you. Okay, you go for Lucio, which is like not the worst. I think again, a Fire Strike there would have killed him. He had 75 health, and Fire Strike does 90. Ramatra's in on your back line. Dies. I'm gonna guess this is PC. Alright. You know how to jump shield toggle, which is great. And you're trying to get over to the Ashe, which I understand. I think there's a possibility that you just get kited here into oblivion, but I understand what's going on here. It's possible that you could use charge to make up that space. Okay, you're good in the Ashe, good. Oh, you gotta aim up. Yeah, so this is kind of what I'm afraid of in terms of being kited. Now I think you have to take the background. Yep, that's right. I would charge forward right now just to get back to the card sooner. I think it was the right idea. I don't think the execution was particularly good, and I think you honestly should have died. Because it's a long distance for you to have covered across a large open space where they get to work your shield down. Okay, so let's watch from above. So the Ashe is playing there, and you're like, hey, look, it's kind of my job to make space. Right? And then you go in here. I think that you had to play tighter to the corner if you try to do this in the future. Right? Or you could have charged the cross and then shielded the rest of the way. That way you take less damage because you're not exposed for as long. Alright, coming up, you have Shatter. Should be an easy Shatter win. The only thing that can stop this is Ramattra Shield, so you can try to bait Ramattra Shield. Window is down, so I would probably just Shatter right now. Because at this angle, it'd be tough for the Ramattra to react in time. Right? You decide to do nothing. Like, you have a bunch of options here. Doing nothing and standing in the open is not one of them. In terms of good options, at least. Okay. So you come up here. Again, play tight to corners, right? Play natural cover. Play tight to corners. You standing out here, everyone can shoot you. You standing over here, nobody can shoot you, right? It's not like you're protecting your team. Nobody's behind you. Just play tight to the corner, right? People will naturally follow your lead is where you go. There's no reason for you to step this far out. Okay, because again, now you get stuck in this weird spot where you're going to get blown up and killed. From this moment, let's say hypothetically I got in this position, which I would never get in this position, but let's say hypothetically you're in this position. What are your options? Option number one, Shatter right away. Okay, and hope Ramattra does not put up a shield in time. It does not look like the Ramatra's going to shield in time because he's not even looking at you. Right, that would be an incredible reflexive save here to stop Shatter. Oh, you didn't even know. He actually threw shield out here. It's irrelevant. I didn't even know you knew that. I just want to check to see if we know that shield went up. So he put it up at some point. It's hard for me to hear on this setup. I don't know what the sound for Ramattra Shield is like all that well, but in game, I think I probably would have heard that the shield went up. But either way, the shield's no longer a factor. But let's assume that shield was a possible factor to be generous, because this shield is like nonsensical. Option one. Once window's up. Option one. Shatter right away. Okay? And then double Fire Strike the Baptiste. Charge the Ramattra, whatever you want to do, or come back and fight the Lucio, whatever you want to do. Right? But just don't get killed by this. Option one. Option number two. Go to the left to avoid them using the window against you and push them. And if the Baptiste rotates this way to use the window, you can just jump shield toggle and go at him really quickly. All right. Option number three is jump shield toggle quickly going this way / charge. Actually, realistically, I think I'll just charge out because I don't think jump shield toggle you'll live long enough. I think you should shield, you just charge out. I don't recommend option number three. I think your option one is Shatter. Option two is play this way and start forcing this angle. You decide to do none of those things. Instead, you decide to hold shield, but not even looking at the window, which is where 95% of the damage is coming from right now. The Lucio is the only one shooting you. It is a damage-boosted Ramattra and a damage-boosted Bastion shooting your flank. You take a ton of damage here, and then you're like, oh, maybe I should hold the shield towards them, and then your shield breaks, and then you die. This is a 100% preventable death. In fact, you could have just shattered and won it. We're gonna watch a little more. I don't think we need to watch the whole thing. Okay, so remember that there is a side path here to take. And when the cart is up to this point, it's almost always better to take the right path than it is to take the left path. Especially as a short range hero where right path is better. I wish you'd gotten up the stairs. Alright, you hit him. Ooh, chase him, right? Just fire strike. Okay, good shatter right now. I would have just shattered right now. First of all, it's like kind of weird that your team's like a little slow, but I would have shattered right here, and then you would have gotten 3 of them. And then you just walk in and kill them. So, let's look at this. You get really close for no reason. You don't need to get this close to them. And then, you go for the shatter, you jump, and then you get coach gunned, which lifts you even further up in the air, which severely delays this shatter. And then the Lucio kills you. Don't jump before shatter, right? Because it only happens when you land the ground. Never jump before shatter. This is like a very rookie mistake. Never jump before shatter. You should. So what ends up happening here is that all 3 of these are going to live, and they killed you, and they forced Reaper Wraith. When in reality, you should have killed all 3 of them and lost nobody. Right, this Reaper might actually die here too. Okay, he's gonna die. Right? So you lost 2. Lost 2, killed 0. When in reality, you should have killed 3, lost 0. All because you decided to A, get too close, B, jump. Right? Really easy mechanical mistakes to fix, but they have huge outcomes. Okay, you're nanoed. I would charge out of that, right? Like, what? Like, there's no point in waiting. You want to make as much use of this nano as possible. You're extremely lucky to get the Baptiste there. Never expect to hit anybody with charge when they're far away. It's not something that just doesn't happen. All right. Ramacha's popped ulti here. What do? The short answer is there's not much. Like, this Ramacha ulti is never going to end. You know what I mean? Like, there's like 0% chance this Ramacha ulti. He's like in the middle of you 2 right here. I think your supports are dead. Oh no, they're over here. They're over here. Okay, never mind. All right. So under this setup, okay, it's still 5-on-5. 5-on-4, right? Baptiste is dead because you killed him. The number one thing here is to zone the Ramatra. So you want to get here and start swinging at the Ramatra and to give your team some time to back up, and then you can shield. And then shield out the Ramatra ulti for 3 seconds. That's what you should do here. Let's see what you do. You charge. Okay? And then you die. Well, why do you die despite having 2 supports up? Oh, wait, where's your... Oh, your Anna's like way the hell over here. Yeah, this is the problem when you charged in. Okay? Is that you just put you in a really bad spot and your supports have to walk all the way over here, right? In a dangerous area to go try to get to you. You see how much damage they take there? There's no reason... Like, you just didn't need to do this. You did not need to charge in that far, like, behind the cart. Just, like, kill the people who are here, right? And then move progressively in. There's no reason to go that deep over there. Okay? But your supports are going to end up dying because they have this, like, really hard rotation to try to stay alive, right? You're putting your support in really bad positions. Once this ulti is up, you need to walk forward. Alright. And then she just gets gunned down. I don't think there's a lot you can do at this point. I think no matter what you do, your team's lost this fight at this point. I think from the moment you charged in, the fight was lost. I don't think there's anything you could do. Alright. I decided to go hog. Golden rule of hog. You hit hooks, you win the game. You miss hooks, you lose the game. Oh man. Or you hit... I don't know what this is. Yeah, this is not a great, not a great shot. I get that he was on high ground, but this is a crazy flick. And honestly, you didn't even deflect that hard. It's not like he can like get away from you instantly or anything. You have time to line up the shot. Headshots for Roadhog on tanks especially are very important on hooks. Okay, so again, critical thing to think about right now is, can your support see you? They cannot, because your Mercy's coming out of spawn. And just your Zen now. So you get way less healing. Okay, you should know you get a lot less healing now, but the enemy team gets a lot squishier. And you're gonna die here probably. No, you live. I would not AFK here. Like, you can hear them pushing you, right? Like, just keep walking, like tuck yourself in the corner, right? Just anything to get, because you're almost at breather. You're like half a second to breather. Anything that you did to give yourself like one more second of time, right? Like crouch in the corner or something would have given you breather, and then you would have survived, and then they would have been out of position. All right, you come back out. Don't shoot the Romantic Shield. It has 1,000 health. I've like never seen it break from damage other than unless Sebastian shoots it. Again, you should right click there instead of left click. Alright, so Romantic just popped ulti again. I don't know. This is not the time to be using Take a Breather. This is the time where you have to get a kill. Right? That's hook right there, you should have gone for. I know like you're out of ammo, which is like inherently a problem, but I would have saved this one shot and then look for the hook right now. Reload. Again, right now, you have to be looking for this hook. You're 581. Don't heal. Don't heal right now. Look for the hook. Look for the hook. Kill the Baptiste. Right? This hook is wildly later. Alright, so what you should do here is that you should push right side and force the soldier back this way. Don't just stand in the middle where you're just going to feed ult charge and take a ton of damage, especially because your team doesn't have a lot of healing. Alright, good hook. So there's no reason why this discorded soldier should not have been killed there.
Damn it.
Okay. So it looks like your shot was basically in like to the right, basically like where his like right shoulder is, and hits the shot. So number one, position it higher, right, to make sure that you get headshots, right? You want to aim for roughly the neck area, and you can practice on soldier in the training range. You can practice by hooking a soldier and then shooting him. Number one is the position, the target is off. Number two, remember that you can walk forward a little bit after a hook and shoot, and they still don't have time to react. That is very, very important to getting a lot of one-shots. There's no reason that a soldier that is discorded should not be 100% of the time killed by this. And letting people live with 1 health will often result in them not dying. You're also not doing a melee after you shoot. So I would say there's a lot here that tells me that you're probably not, right? A melee right there would have killed him. That you're probably not much of a hog player. Like your Rein looks okay, your hog play looks significantly lower experience, I would say. Right? Get a hook and kill, great. Try moving forwards. Sigma, okay, just go past the shield. Yep, great. Unfortunate that, you know, Rock is up, but it's okay. You know what it is? Just heal. Go again. Okay, get 3 seconds. Don't shoot him. Okay? The thing is, like, why are you backing up? Like, he's grasping. You know? He's grasping, you're at full health, you're about to have hook. Is it the dynamite? Who cares? You have 700 health and you're being double pocketed. Like, you could just walk forward right now. Right? Just get the hook right after this. You'd want to be right here, hook him, pull him to the right, and he's dead. He's in the middle of your whole team, he's dead. And this fight is won. Right? At that point, if you did that, the cart would have moved all the way to here before that, and you'd be in your final fight. But now you've given the Sigma, like a get out of jail free card, and now you can go back and play regular. Okay, good. Hook on the Baptiste. So again, I don't think you know that you can hook people sideways. So he has lamp down, hook, turn to the right, turn your camera to the right, which will put him here instead of in front of you, and then shoot and kill him. And that way he doesn't get inside of the lamp. Because that's what prevents, I mean, actually not exactly, because I think you miss your shot again, but that prevents the kill. Okay, I'm going to stop, because I don't think it's fair to keep talking about your hog gameplay, because your hog gameplay to me looks significantly less experienced than your Rein. Like, I would say that you probably have like 5 times as much Rein time as you do hog time. As like a ballpark guess. Like, I don't know, somewhere between like 3 to 5 times, because it's very clear to me that you don't actually know the mechanics well enough on hog. So, you know, I could spend my time like micro-analyzing everything, but like I think you'll just learn more by playing it. So going back to Rein, right? I think again you have to understand, when do I aggress, right? When do I attack, and how do I attack? Okay, 2 key things. When do I attack? How do I attack? The when is when I need to, right? On attack, I only need to fight them if they are preventing the card from moving forward, or they're standing somewhere that's going to kill my whole team unless I push them, right? So, for example, if all 5 of them are standing right here, yeah, I probably need to go here and go push them off, right? But in this situation where they're already backpedaling and there's plenty of cover for my team, I don't need to fight them. Okay? So number 1, when they're stalling the cart, or they're killing my team from like high ground or something like that. On defense, you want to fight the cart when you're stopping the cart, okay? And in order for them to move the cart, they have to be next to the cart, which gives you an opportunity to attack them. Capture the hill or king of the hill / control is like even more complicated, but like we're not gonna worry about that right now. So when is when I have to as Rein. I would say there's all heroes, but like as Rein. 1, 2. How do I attack? You want to take routes that give you as much cover as possible so that you conserve as much shield and health as possible, and then you spring out and attack them. So it is not running it down here, but it is taking this route, constantly staying in cover, and then playing this angle. Okay? Same thing is when this progresses a little further. Okay? So I don't want to take the fight right now. I want to move it forward. If Ramatra tries to stand right here to stop this, then I can just walk up and hit him without being exposed to the rest of the team. But realistically, once they go here, I can use the cart as cover and just move forwards, you know? If they decide to try to stop it, I can then step in front of the cart to kill, or I can go to the right, climb up, and then push them off high ground this way. All these routes are routes that keep you safe until you get within hammer range. All right? Very, very important. When to attack, how to attack are the 2 most important things that I think to emphasize here. Number 3 is around ult usage, right? Which is general like tracking. Do I actually need to use an ulti here? And number 4 is not line of sighting your heroes. Pretty typical tank stuff. All right. Hopefully that's helpful.